What's motherfucking popping? What's going zones out there? Want to welcome everybody back to the All on the Table podcast. Just a bunch of everyday regular Joe Schmo motherfuckers talking they shit. We say what the fuck we want. It's just that simple. I ain't give y'all the disclaimer in a minute, so I think I should do it this time for sure. If you feel offended by any goddamn thing that we say, it's your own motherfucking fault because you're going to keep watching anyway. So don't come back bitching, talking about, oh, he said, she said. Yup, we damn sure did. It's just that simple. You ain't me. Y'all know who I is, the boy Raw Sass. Got my team in the building tonight. We're going to start off. Welcome back. We got Momo in the building.
Hey, what's up?
And me. She got the hair pulled back today. She don't want me calling her Tina, but I'm still calling you Tina. We got motherfucking Courtney the Mighty in the building.
Hey, everybody.
And me, Chef Ski Bizzle in the building.
Yo, what it do? Ski Bop sauce.
Hey, make sure y'all don't forget to go check out that motherfucking Cooking with Chef Ski Bop. You know what I'm saying? Showing y'all how to do what he do. And me, we got Cash Money in the building.
What's up? What's up?
He back with his motherfucking shark spike. He back. And then we got, last but not least, motherfucking KC.
That motherfucking KC. What's up, people?
And me. So we all here. The gang's all here. The family's all back. We know y'all missed us. So we're going to make it easy for y'all. Hit that motherfucker subscribe button, smash that bell icon so you know when we pop up, even though we're going to pop up every Tuesday, just to remind you that we here. You know what I mean? Leave us a like, leave us a comment. Let us know how you feel. Let's get this shit popping, though. Tonight, we're going to talk about motherfucking Meghan Markle. Y'all know who she is. She went on Oprah, said what she had to say, did what she had to do, got some shit off her chest. Can't be mad at her. Sometimes, man, you got to get shit off your chest when you feeling some type of way about some shit. It is what it is. We're going to start with my man, Cash. Cash Money. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to let the viewers know, for those that didn't get a chance to actually watch the interview, what was the temperature? Not necessarily what was said, but what was the temperature of the interview?
Temperature. I'm trying to gauge that. I mean, it was pretty eye-opening in a lot of it. I mean, so I struggled with it a little bit because originally I'm thinking, I saw a bunch of excerpts of it, right? Like she's saying this and then on a 5-minute clip or whatever. So it's kind of hard to gauge where she was coming from and some of the well, you didn't expect that, right? Marrying into, royalty and certain things. But after watching it, I could see how she was struggling in the situation. I mean, for the most part, what she was saying, in my opinion, I kind of was probably already expecting, just because look, this is a monarch that's been there for 1,200 years. You know what I mean? Like, so there's certain things you would expect. But I do think after sitting down and watching it all the way through and how she was answering it and some of the questions, is that it seemed like she was pretty genuine from her point of view. Like you were saying, she needed to get some shit off her chest, and she did.
Okay.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, you may.
7 million will make you get some shit off your chest too, huh?
Nah, you moving too fast, Ski Bop. You moving too fast, Ski Bop. Slow your roll, Smoking Joe.
Hey, man, listen. I'm just saying.
Slow your roll, Smoking Joe. You know what I'm saying? Ski Bop coming out with the guns blazing today. He got some shit he got to get off his chest too, huh?
Right.
We're going to call you Ski Bop Markle, huh?
No.
Yeah, so, hey, Courtney the Mighty.
Yes.
As a Black woman in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and in case y'all didn't know, it's Women's History Month. Shout out to all the women that made shit pop
Shout out, ladies.
Mysteries.
Yay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop sleeping on these ladies, y'all. Y'all got no, let me rephrase that because I like sleeping on my lady. But y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all gotta give them their respect, give them they due. Y'all know what I mean?
Facts, bro.
Y'all know what I mean? But Courtnee the Mighty, as a Black woman in America, as you watched the interview, how did you gauge the temperature of the interview?
Like what I took from it or what I saw, how I felt.
Basically.
I could relate to Meghan Markle, and a lot of people are trying to discredit her and say she's lying. I believe that she was telling us what we already knew. Like, I would assume that they were, I mean, slavery came from Europe. I would assume that they were, they weren't really accepting. And her background, she is biracial. She is a divorcee. She's older. She's like in her late 30s now. But I think that had something to do with her situation, what she was dealing with. And I believe her. I believe that what she was saying about how they mistreated her or about her son and the color of his skin, I believe her.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought that was kind of crazy that she would have to even think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you married into a family, whatever. It shouldn't matter how dark my son gonna be. You know that I ain't all white. You know I got some nigga up in me. You know what I mean? So why are we even thinking about that? First of all, in 2021, why are we 2020? Shit, in the 2000s, why are we even still worried about fucking race? Like, let that shit go. You know what I mean?
Well, for them,
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a stain. Like, being Black is a stain. It's not perfect. It's not clean. So, and we all know that just because one of your parents is biracial and the other one is white, you do have more white in you, but you can still come out with more color than they would think. I mean, that's just how genetics plays. It's crazy.
The crazy part is most interracial people, the Black side always kind of takes over anyway. It's more dominant anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's to the point where people should kind of know that by now. Which I don't understand how they don't. You know what I'm saying? The Black side, we are some dominant motherfuckers.
I don't know
in our
that
genes, we dominant. Fuck you talking about?
I don't know that they so much would have seen it though, Raw, with Harry being white and her being, biracial. I think more of the white.
because you have two white,
Right.
white DNA strands.
If you look at genetics though,
But your hair always come out dark.
not always true. But if you actually do look at genetics, look at the science behind it, the Black gene is always the most dominant gene. And that's the reason why most interracial kids, either they still have like a nappier type of hair or they have a darker type of skin. They don't come out with the blue eyes or the green eyes. Sometimes they may get the little color change situation, which still is freaky as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? But
they come out with hazel or something like that.
The Black gene is the more dominant gene. That's why it's crazy when people try to make it seem like being Black is so wrong. It's like everybody has some form of Black gene inside of them. It just depends on how strong that gene actually took over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think for them, in the way the Crown was looking at that shit, which isn't right, but they're thinking, whatever happens in the pecking order of things, right? We have a prince that's with this, biracial woman that then might have they're having a biracial kid. And that if anything was to go a certain way, then they lose control.
Yeah.
That bloodline.
But you don't.
They do.
Dog,
that's just how they look at it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we can't, we've had this a certain way for so long. This could be the opportunity for this all to fall apart.
If we talking about, you know, the Queen and Charles, it's never been a Black person in their unity, you know. So with Meghan Markle coming in, who's biracial, who is Black, pretty much, you can't tell me they don't have a problem with that. That's a big change.
But again,
they
I said not too long ago, not to cut you off. Like I said not too long ago, in the 2000s, why would this be something that we still thinking about?
Because I think it's not us as a whole that's really thinking of it. It's the people who have racial issues that have the problem with it.
She
It's
called
not-
it the Institute.
Yeah, right. So I don't think it's, you know, because there's a lot of white people that support Black people totally when all this racial stuff starts
cash
coming
money
out.
right there. Proof is in the pudding. We got cash money right there. Fuck you talking about?
Right. Exactly. But when we talking about London and we talking about, you know, they're the Queen, the King, and how they are used to doing things, I think they have a problem with it. As much as they try to accept it, it's not accepted. And not only that, Harry always been the black sheep of the family, always.
Because he might not be who his father might not be his real father.
Right.
He was having an affair.
He's always the one that after Diana died, he became messed up. You know, not too much messed up, but he became his own person. You
But
get what I'm
even when
saying?
Diana died, you know what I mean? You gotta look at that way too.
Right.
Accident under the tunnel, but you get the press with camera pictures
Right.
before she crashed.
Well, they from what I understand, she was fighting depression too when she was Princess of Wales. She was fighting depression too. She wanted to kill herself as well. She wanted out of that shit too.
Right.
It sounds like that place is so dysfunctional. It's a lot of stuff that they hiding that they are not.
Let me ask you this, Ski Bop. We're gonna go back to you, right? You know, you was on your Smoking Joe shit. So
look, the gun didn't cool down now, Vlad. But go on, shoot.
No, son. Do you feel like this interview was based off or fueled by the money? Because she even said in the beginning that I guess Oprah reached out to her in the beginning and she was like, nah, it's not the right time, blah, 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 blah. Now all of a sudden, you know, when Oprah like, all right, I got this amount of chicken for you. Now it's the right time to talk. So do you feel like this interview was fueled by that money, or do you feel like she really genuinely felt like it was time to talk?
I genuinely think it was time to talk, but it'll be a bonus to be able to say I can let off, and mind you, from her state, she might be saying, you know, she did even say in the interview she tried to kill herself. You know what I mean? So you at that far your wits, you know what I mean, and want to let people know what's going on. You feel me? So that's a plus. You're like, now I can let this off my chest. You know,
and get a husky check out
and get a, and mind you, listen, and this is the funny thing about it. In the interview, she was saying that basically they cut off, you know what I mean? So they not getting, you know, when you first go somewhere, you like, damn, I'm getting all this, and then slowly but surely everything gets yanked back from you. And mind you, they only got no security details, so they had to move. So with that being said, they probably was not at where they was, but they probably getting by, you know what I mean? So.
And supposedly they saying that they weren't paid.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Oprah asked her.
That's what I heard. They weren't paid.
That's what I heard. They weren't paid either. Because you know, when Oprah asked him how they were living, Harry said, "I'm basically living off of my inheritance from my mother."
Right.
So when I looked it up, apparently Oprah paid them to do the interview.
Yeah, she did.
It was weird because she opened right up. She's like, just to be clear, we're, you know, with the motives behind this, were you paid to do this? Were you this, that? And she's like, no, not at all. So if that's true and she was paid and they're on there saying that, you know, she wasn't, just to get it out there, that kind of changes the lens of the conversation.
Exactly.
And that's
Not to say that what she's saying didn't happen, but it changes the reasonings behind it, I guess.
Well,
Right. It makes it seem as though, okay, I wouldn't have said anything, but since I was paid to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know.
And see,
Yeah.
that's the reason.
Well-
That's the reason I first asked how y'all felt about the temperature of the actual interview, and then when you add on the money, so it's like, now don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and say what she's saying is wrong. I'm not saying what she's saying is right, because everybody feel how they feel when they feel how they feel. It is what it is. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. Money will make a motherfucker say some shit that they really ain't want to say. You know what I mean? So do y'all feel like, KC, do you feel like she really poured her heart out, or do you feel like she went hard because of that bread?
No, I think she really poured her heart out, man. I
You
believe
could
the
tell-
shit
I
that's
think you
popping
could
out.
see
I
it in
believe
her
what's
eyes.
going. I believe that this shit is going on over there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's going on over here. So
You can tell
you know,
because they tried to come at her husband. They was coming at his neck, like, yeah, you know what's going on in the situation. And he kind of was like, he defending his wife, but he's like, oh, like, damn, why y'all coming at me? Listen, I ain't asked to come on this mother sucker. Shit, you know what I mean? But I feel like he was riding with his wife, but at the same time, he know what's going on. He
oh
can't,
yeah, and
he can't come out his mouth like that, dog. Like,
and to come from where he came from, man, to be as privileged as he was, and for them to be as rich as they are, why would you risk giving all that up over some bullshit?
Yeah.
I mean, you know he loves her if he did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's fairy tale shit. You say,
Yeah.
hey, I'll announce everything.
Yeah,
And
that's
let's just go move in the California hills and raise chickens and shit.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like
they
it should
in
be.
Canada with it, bro. They in Canada.
I honestly think just looking at her face, when she was talking made me like want to break down for
Yeah,
her.
you can kind of
Like,
you wanted
You
to
could
break down a
tell
few
the
times.
tension in her eyes and her
Mhm.
face that it's not, it's the truth, that she's not lying. Whether she got paid or not, I think that she is telling the truth. I mean, it was in her face. It really was.
Yeah,
Body
she had
language
a
says a
couple
lot.
opportunities to name drop some people, and she was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
I mean, I really think that she about had a nervous breakdown with them.
Yeah.
I think that she's telling the truth. I think they don't accept her. They will never accept her. Or
Let me
her
ask you
children.
this, Momo. Let me ask you this, right? Do you feel like she should have walked into the situation assuming that was going to happen, or you think she should have walked in like she did, you know, assuming everything was going to be Gucci, everything was going to be all gravy, they was going to accept me? Or do you feel like, you know?
Let me tell you, when you love somebody, you don't care. I mean, people who don't have money, they mother-in-laws don't like them. You get what I'm saying? They should have been upfront with her about how they felt about her from the beginning, instead of waiting to the marriage, paying for the marriage and doing it for publicity, is what I see. I mean, I think that she walked in and naive, and she even said that. But at the same time, I feel like you don't choose who you fall in love with. Your
Right.
heart is where your heart is.
Right.
And, you know, so I don't think that they should have, whether they had an issue with her or not, they told Harry, I'm sure they went to Harry before they went to her.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm sure Harry was like, look, this is my wife and this is how it's going to be. So you either accept us both or you don't. Because Harry always stood up for himself with them. He always had been. He always went after his mom died. He was always in the news about stuff. Excuse me. But I don't feel like that you have to pick and choose who you love because to make somebody else in the family happy.
Exactly.
Facts.
So when I looked at it, right, it's crazy because everything is always about money. I don't give a fuck how people look at it. Everything is always about money. As the elder statesman, my man, KC,
What's up, brother?
her pop has been,
Sold his soul, bro.
I was about to ask you, so how you, for one, I mean, I can only speak for myself. I can't sit here and drag my daughter through the mud. If my daughter say, yo, this is how I'm feeling, that's why I'm riding at. It's just that simple. That's my daughter. I'm riding.
Absolutely.
I'm not about to sit here and say, oh, it's no way this, it's no way that. No, if that's how my daughter feel. Yo, let's figure this shit out. It is what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, a grown ass man with a daughter, if your daughter was in this same situation, like how do you think you could be going out like the way her pop is going out, or you think he's just out of pocket on too many levels?
Man, he out of pocket on too many levels, bro. He was out of pocket when it all jumped off, you know, because he wasn't getting his little 5 minutes of fame, you know, considering his daughter, you know, was marrying the prince or whatnot. He was acting a fool in the beginning. So them finding out that he was working with the tabloids and selling information to them on behalf of his daughter, that don't surprise me. And that don't surprise me at all, bro, because check this out. She also has a half sister that's writing a book about her, who she really don't know. She didn't meet her until she hadn't seen her. The last time she saw her half sister, she was 18 years old. And then before then, she didn't see her for 10 years. So exactly what do you know about me enough to write a book, you know, and sell that shit? So, you know, the apple don't fall far from the tree. You know, you got her dad all in her business. Now you got your half sister all. Everybody's trying to get paid. That's all that is.
He was mad that he didn't get invited to the wedding.
Right. Yeah.
He went
That
on
doesn't
morning
surprise me
news.
at all. Basically, the only
news.
one that's really supportive, it sounds like, is her mother, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 billion people watched that wedding.
I was watching
It's a lot of people.
it was a CBS Australia, I think it was, and they had a broadcast and they was talking, and one of the ladies on there, she said something that made a lot of fucking sense to me. She said, mind you, you could look at her and tell she probably was mixed as well. She looked like she probably was black and white. I'm assuming she definitely didn't look fully black. She definitely looked like she was mixed with something. And she said it did not surprise her that Meghan Markle's dad, which is white, it did not surprise her that he would call out other white people and say that they're not racist. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, well, he married a black woman, so that would mean he can't be racist, which is fucking false, because
So it's the leader of the Proud Boys.
exactly. So, Courtney the Mighty, let me ask you this, right? How do you feel about that statement? Do you feel like a white man can say who is and ain't racist when it comes to other white people? You got mic issues, huh? God damn it, Courtney. What the hell is you doing over there?
Did you mute her?
No, she must have muted herself.
There it is.
I had to mute myself because I'm at my parents' house. I didn't want anyone to come in.
Yeah, no, you're good. So how do you
right.
feel about that though? Do you feel like a white man can say that another white man is not racist, even though a black person is saying, yes, these are some racist folks? Like, I found it funny for you to come out.
I have to say that I do not, that angers me.
California is racist, but the Queen.
That angers me.
Why?
That angers me. You can't sit here and tell me. That's like one of those things where if a person tells you that they've experienced something, you're like, no, that's not the case. Just because you have an experience doesn't mean that you're less than my experience. Like what I'm saying is it can't be true. They're not racist. Shut up. Like, that really pisses me off. How are you going to tell me, a person of color, that my experience isn't real?
Right.
That what I feel isn't real?
Right.
Big facts. Cash Money, how you feel about that?
I've had plenty of conversations on Facebook about this where people in the Trump era, they post, well, this person can't be racist because of that. And I'm like, well, racism doesn't exist. It's just being forced down people's throats. And the only reason it exists is because we can talk about it. And I tell them, I say, it doesn't exist to you because you're white.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you know if something exists if you've never had to go through it,
Exactly.
right?
If you've never eaten a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you can't sit here and say, oh, peanut butter and jelly is fucking disgusting together. You've never fucking ate the shit.
And you know, I think that's a good segue into like the Harry side of this, right? Like, of course, he probably didn't realize to what extent that she would be treated, right? Because of the color of her skin, because he's lived in a world that it's no one's ever been in the house to have a reference point. Like it's all, look, hey, we do all this charity for people of colors, nations, and stuff like that. So I don't think he doesn't have a reference point. So obviously, I'm pretty sure he was caught off guard with a lot of that shit when they came to him. And it probably like, oh damn, we really got to sit down here and talk about what if the baby comes out darker than expected? Like, hell no. That's probably why he was like, you know what, baby, you want to leave? Let's go. We out.
Exactly. Like this my motherfucking kid. Like, how you gonna sit here and complain about it's my kid? I don't give a fuck what my kid look like.
They didn't even.
Kid is healthy. That's all that matters.
And from what I understand, usually, when a child is born into the family, they usually give them a title.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even give baby Archie a title.
Wow.
No, they didn't even give him protection.
They wouldn't give him security or a title.
No.
That's one of the reasons they left.
Wow. See, I definitely didn't know that part.
Yeah, they didn't.
What was happening? What they were doing is that, and this is just my take from what I got on it, because you got to remember, right before that, the big thing was the Kate Middleton. What was the chick's name that they married first? The older brother.
Kate Middleton.
Right. So they were like boom, it was big, right? So
right.
Then you have this couple comes in, you have this chick, and we've already explained her background, and it's like the shine starts to being pulled away. So you have different publicists, right? Different things that are trying to spin different things. And from my understanding, the way it was being told was that they were intentionally putting out stories that would make her seem like the villain, and she said that in the thing, as opposed to the other chick who's the hero, to kind of put it out to the public and make the public not like her more than they like the other chick.
And then
That's
they said,
the vibe I was getting.
They were saying that like 70 women of the parliament stood up and said something behind that because it was getting ridiculous. Whereas, the tabloids was printing negative stuff about her. And to where Prince Harry's family, who runs the place, said nothing.
Yeah,
they just sat around and let her get, abused, verbally abused like she was.
Did you see the story about the avocado?
No.
So they had the one chick, the Kate Middleton, and they showed her a picture of her, and the tabloid said Kate Middleton goes out and has the avocado diet to help secure the function and health of their kid. And then they put the other one to the side. Oprah said, Meghan Markle eats, avocado, and it's, endangering the environment and detriment and impoverishing people and, cheap labor. She was like, wow. And Meghan says, oh, that's a loaded piece of toast. That's what she said. I was like, damn, you got her with that one. But you can see the duality in it. What I mean?
It just amazes me that, like I said, in the 2000s, fuck 2021. Fuck.
I gotta say, I gotta cut you off and say, I don't know why you're surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised.
I don't know why you're surprised that people are like that now.
That's the thing. I'm not surprised that it's like that. Fucking Trump showed us enough to know.
That's what I'm saying. Why? I'm not surprised.
My thing is the fact that in the 2000s, we are still having this fucking conversation. That's the part that is just like, what, like, why? Like, why is this something
never went away?
Never.
It never went away.
That's
never went away.
That's
turned into a policy, man. Just turned into a
kind
policy.
of laid low until somebody superior brought it back up.
Nah, it didn't take for nobody.
He made it okay for people to show their true colors. That's what it was.
Here's the thing: before Trump got in office, it was still a lot of motherfuckers everywhere. The thing was, people did it, but they tried to hide it. They tried to make it look like that's not what it was.
Whereas Trump made them think it was okay.
It was okay to show. That's what
Like upstairs, man.
Yeah,
Trump made it okay for them to show their true colors.
Yeah. And like I said, motherfuckers was doing it before him. So I can't
Yes.
fully, I'm not gonna sit here and fully put it on Trump. I'm not gonna do that.
No,
I think honestly speaking, Obama becoming president, that's what made motherfuckers really come out. Because it pissed a lot of people off, the fact that it was a black man that was
Yeah.
able to run our country great.
Yeah,
They
but you
ready
know
for
what,
that.
bro? It took more than just us to elect him.
That's no, see, I don't want y'all to misinterpret what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. It was so many people upset when Obama was actually elected as the president. That's what made people start to come out the closet, if you will. That's what made motherfuckers
Yeah.
start to
agree.
speak up, start to talk. Because not only was there a black president, but there actually was a black president that didn't, like a lot of it amazes me how many black people said they didn't like Obama because he didn't do enough for black people. Motherfucker, the country is the country. It's more than just black people in the country. So I would not have expected him to just say, oh, I'm only going to look out for black people. Fuck no.
Right.
What the fuck
Right.
made you think that?
That don't even make sense.
But a lot of people,
Outside of cutting a retribution check or something.
it was a lot of people who felt that way. There's a lot of people that feel like, oh, what Obama, it was no point for Obama. He didn't do nothing for us, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Well,
man,
you
sit back and
you also got to realize too, the Republican Party only allowed him to do so much.
that
They
too.
still ran.
dog.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, the statement alone that Obama didn't do enough for black people is a part of the problem, because there's more than just black people in this country.
Absolutely.
Today, the president is supposed to look out for every single person.
Everyone, not just
Not
a
just a
select few.
specific race of people, not
Right.
just a specific, not just people who make a specific amount of money or people who look like this. No, we are one fucking country. Fuck what your color look like. That shouldn't matter. Fuck how much money you make. That shouldn't matter. We are all in this bitch together.
Absolutely.
Look at Texas, right?
Yeah.
When that shit happened in Texas, the rich motherfuckers and the poor motherfuckers didn't have no electricity.
Exactly.
Everybody was fucked up.
Yeah.
The electric company, when that shit went down, they ain't say, oh shit, the rich people need to keep their shit on. Fuck no. If you ain't had no generator, you was assed out like fat bitches in bikinis, just like everybody else. It was what the fuck it was. So
Only difference is that the rich people could get on a plane and fly away.
That's
that was the only difference.
I mean, you could have gotten in your car and drove away. So it don't really, like I said, it didn't really make a difference.
Not really.
Yes,
With them
really.
road conditions, I couldn't have.
Listen, I'm from Philly. I'm
Probably
driving.
couldn't get the time off because of their job.
No, I'm telling you, I'm
Unless that-
living in it. I could not drive in that.
Unless, listen, Courtney, listen what I'm telling you. Unless it's motherfucking 6 feet of snow on the ground, you can't stop me from driving nowhere. Fuck you talking about?
No way.
I got an SUV for a reason.
Right.
All-wheel
Absolutely,
drive.
bro.
I'm through that motherfucker. Fuck you talking
Hey,
about?
I think never mind. I was gonna say, I think we saw you drive this 6 feet of snow.
Hey, you
recently.
might have. What you talking about? I ain't fucking around. Got me fucked up. You ain't, listen, I will never be stuck nowhere. That's not an option for me. Unless you put me in a cage, I'm free as a motherfucking bird. I'll figure it the fuck out. Fuck
Yeah.
you talking about?
I
But
tell you what though, man, it's sad that this is happening, but it's also exposing a lot of people, man. A lot of people are getting exposed when it comes to this whole racism shit.
it need to be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
The
Because
saying
It
is,
needs to
what
be.
you do in the dark always come to light.
in this day
You know,
and age,
so
Always.
this is not a conversation we should be having so frequently in this day and age.
When we talk about an establishment that's been around and created some of the topics that we're talking about right now, as far as, slave trade and different things like that, it just goes to show you that you do need to keep talking about this to take those and reconceptualize about why do we have a queen that's still sitting over there in Europe that still controls all these countries that they ain't got nothing to do with.
Thanks.
Now, mind you, there are some political reasons why you can't just say, okay, let them be independent, because then they couldn't afford it, right? They don't have their own infrastructure and way to profit from it, right? Some of these smaller islands and different things like that, but definitely need to reconceptualize and have these conversations about, of course, this would exist in those castles They're living in fucking castles.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think having these conversations and her, you know, like, because I said, I admit originally I thought, you know, I only saw little clips of it. So I thought, you know, she might have been coming from an uncertain place for me. So I had to watch it. So when I watched it, I said, okay, I get it. And especially with him learning more about how he denounced some of his shit, make all more sense. But people like her need to talk more about it. Like they mentioned on the call too, or on the interview, that a lot of higher up people that had jobs in there, whether they be service or whatever it is they're doing, you know, they've been fired or they've been let go, and you don't hear those people speaking out, or at least we don't, right? In America, we don't. But I think having those conversations is going to help things like, you know, that go away. Just hard at first.
Momo, let me ask you this, right? As a Black woman, do you think this is the type of conversation her and Harry should have had before they even got married?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But who says that they didn't have this conversation and he just didn't care?
What do you mean?
You know, he just didn't care what they thought to begin with.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
Or he was naive and was like, no, it ain't like that. Trust me, you know, they're not like that. And then he saw it for himself.
I mean, that goes back to what you said though, Cash. Like if I've never been in it, I can't speak on a situation I've never been in. So even if they had this conversation, I don't really know how they're going to react to a Black person.
I think, not to mean to cut you out, but I think he loved and respected Meghan. He respects her so much that he would have told her if they had this conversation, to be honest. I mean, when you leave a whole palace for your wife, that says a lot. Most people would be like, look, we just gonna have to get a divorce. This is too much money involved and I lose everything, you know? But he left a whole palace for his wife, a whole country.
Yep,
for his wife.
Living a privileged life.
So that right there speaks volumes.
They said that
as he should.
They said that when the question was asked,
I can't get a nigga to block somebody. No, I'm kidding.
Girl. No, you're not. It's 100.
No.
They said that when the question was asked on what color the baby was going to come out, it was asked to Harry only, and he told her.
Yeah, he went back and told her, hey, this is a problem.
Exactly. Because they didn't ask her. They asked him.
They asked him. Say that again. They asked him what?
They asked him what color the baby was going to come out.
What if the baby was going to come out dark?
Yeah, they had a conversation with Harry first and said, hey, we need to discuss the possibility of this baby coming out with a little bit darker skin than we expected, and all the things, and that if it does, or even if it doesn't matter, so we're thinking we're not going to give the title and all these things. He went immediately back to Meghan and was like, yo, this is, they're tripping. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Hey, Cash, let me ask you this, right? Because I know you yourself, you're in an interracial relationship, right? How would you feel as a white man if your family came to you and they was basically asking you all these weird ass fucking questions and feel some type of way about your kid coming out darker than everybody else in the family? Like, do you think you could stop fucking with your family, or you could teach them how to be different, or like, how would that make you feel?
No, usually, and I've been in some of those situations. I mean, because, you know, I've been married once. She was half Filipino. My daughter's half Filipino. My current girlfriend's half Mexican, half Black. And I have had conversations with family members about, you know, insensitive things that are being said, right? And they don't know any better because they're not around that. So it's like, no, you can't say that. You can't do this, or you know, different things. So I call them out immediately. But if it's not rectified immediately, or I don't think something's genuine in the exchange about, hey, no, you slow down a little bit, you can't just say that, or whatever, then yeah, I can light switch, you're out the door. I mean, because I don't want to be associated with people like that.
Yeah, I
Right.
hear that.
I mean, I don't want my daughter to think it's okay to be talked to that way
Right.
just because
Like-
it's a family member.
Like, I know me and you over the years, we talk a lot of shit, black, white, Puerto Rican. It don't fucking matter. We crack jokes. It is what it is. But we do it in the name of fun, so we know it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? But it's a difference when you speaking to a motherfucker and they genuinely feel some type of way about a race, color, creed, whatever. You know what I mean? And I know you've experienced it. So, you know, that's why I kind of wanted to get your take on how you would feel about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if my daughter married into like some royal family and she was being treated like that and she was hearing those things, I'd be like, hey, look, and I'd give it to her straight. And I, you know, obviously as a parent, you can't just walk up to the castle and say, hey, yo, I want to talk to the fucking queen, drag, you know what I mean? But
You could do that. You probably wouldn't make it far, but you could
right.
do
The
that.
best thing you do is give her
ass whooped too, but
right. The best thing you can do is give her advice and say, hey, look, you know, you don't deserve to be talked to that way. You don't deserve to live in an environment that way. If you love this person, and hopefully that's the advice she got from her mom and her family and friends, and say, hey, you know, he loves you, you know, he loves you, and you love him, and you know, you love him. Just what can you do? Can you just walk away from it?
Ski Bop, you in an interracial situation as well. You know what I mean? How would you respond to that? If, you know, I mean, you're black, she's Filipino, so we close, regardless of how motherfuckers don't want to say it. You know what I mean? Like, how would you feel about that if somebody came to you and they was worrying about how your kids was gonna come out looking Cambodian or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you feel about that?
I strongly agree with Cash. Don't hit the light switch. You out. The fuck. Simple as that, man.
Chop
Don't
it family off.
Listen, if you not in line how we rolling, you off the team, man. Get the fuck out of here. We don't got time for that negativity.
All right.
Say no more,
I think-
Ski.
I figured deal you.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Man,
You should
the
protect
problem
yourself, right?
is you have people that don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? And then allow that shit to just be scurrying around. And then you catch a motherfucker, you like, oh shit, he went off. He shot about 9 niggas. Oh yeah. You allowed that shit to stir up too long. You gotta cut that shit right in there.
I've been told for years, man, a lot of people think I'm this fucking asshole, super arrogant motherfucker. But
They're
that's
right.
not the case. What it is I nip shit in the bud as soon as it happens. I don't allow shit to fester. As soon as you say something out of pocket, I'm on your heels. And I don't got to be on your heels in a super aggressive way, but I'm on your heels right there on the spot. So that way, you know, you can never try that shit ever again. It's not even an option.
Right.
And I think if Harry would have did that right there, as soon as the very first thing was said, I think he'd have nipped that shit in the bud. Nah, we're not having it. Knock that shit out now. I think things might have been a little bit, not saying that it would have changed completely, because they could have just did the shit behind his back like normal motherfuckers. You know what I mean? But I think things would have been a little bit different. Can you agree with that, Momo?
No, I can't, because people are who they are. You can't change a person's mind about how they feel about somebody. That's who they are. You can't change a racist mind.
But that's the thing. I don't think they necessarily felt some type of way towards her in general. I think it's just like Cash said, they're not used to being around black people, so they're going to look at it different. If you've never been around, like, okay, first time I'm at a party with Ski Bop and his family, I'm looking at the food and I'm like, all right, what the fuck do I eat? How do I eat it? Because I don't know. But am I one of them motherfuckers that's like, man, fuck all that? No, I'm gonna try the shit. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But when you first experiencing it, you don't know what to say. You don't know what not to say. You don't want to, everybody is not looking to offend a person. So I may come to Ski Bop and say, yo, Ski, how am I supposed to eat XYZ, and not come to his wife who actually made it, because I don't want to offend her. So that's what I'm saying. If Harry, the very first time somebody said something to Harry could have been like, fuck out of here. Do you think their mind could have switched a little bit?
I know exactly what you're saying. No, I don't. You are who you are. And if they care that much, they got trillions and trillions of dollars. Take a damn ethics class. If you care that much about, offending her, they don't care about offending
take
her.
1,000 ethics classes and that will never teach you how
exactly. That's my point. Exactly. You will never change who you are.
But here's what no, the person you are can always change. It's the situation.
No, not if you
Yes.
are racist.
It's the,
Yes.
how do you know you racist until you're around a person of a different race? You don't know that, is what I'm
How
saying.
you,
But
hold
my
up.
thing is this,
How do you not know you racist? I'm not understanding that. That's something I won't understand. You look at a black person and immediately you know how they feel. I look at a white person and I know if I will talk to them or conversate with them or not is what I'm saying. Or if I
Okay.
want to be around them. You
All right,
can't.
let me speak for myself from personal experience, right? Before I joined the Navy, only white people I ever was around was teachers. So you go to, as a kid, you look at teachers differently. You don't look at those as normal people. You don't look at teachers as somebody you could talk to normally. When I first got to the Navy, what, a good 75% of the ship cash, 60% of the ship cash was fucking white. So for me, that was a culture shock. I didn't know that most white people are fucking as weird as they were until I got there. So that's what I'm saying. It takes for you to be in a situation before you know how this situation is. When I first got there, I didn't know that a black person could be racist until I got to the Navy. When I got there, I'm like, holy shit, black people can be racist. White people can be racist. I never experienced no form of racism.
Mexican people can be racist.
Say again?
Mexicans can be racist.
Yes, everybody, but here's the thing. If you've never experienced that, you don't know that.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it could have been like, we can all sit here and say, yeah, these motherfuckers racist as shit. They've been like these for years. But like Cash said, if you've never been around a black person, how do you don't really know how you would react to a black person.
But bro,
Secondly,
I believe
I don't really agree with that.
black people, there's blacks in London, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't agree with
I'm
that.
not getting what I'm saying.
talking about in a job environment.
That's
I don't
completely,
agree with
that's
that. She's
completely,
the queen.
there's
She
a
has
big
been
difference.
interviewed about Oprah and all of that. She has been around black people.
Let me ask
She
you this.
just don't want black people in her family.
Again, that's what I was about to get to. There is a difference in working with a black person and living with a black person.
I got you, bro.
There's a big difference.
Right.
So you don't know until you could, motherfuckers you work with, I see you for 8 hours and I'm out of here. I don't got to give a fuck about you.
Right.
But it's a difference. Now that I live with you, I have to look at things differently.
Exactly.
I got to do things differently. So certain things I say, they probably is going to sound fucked up because I don't know.
Because you don't know how to tailor, because you've never had them around.
Exactly. I don't know what this experience is.
Okay, she's been in this family. How long have they been together? It should be corrected. It still has not been corrected. It got so bad that they left.
Again, like I said, do you believe that it could have changed if Harry nipped it in the bud the very first time something was said?
And my answer still say no.
What about you, Casey?
I'd say he could have tried, but it depends on exactly where the racism is starting. You know, is it his father? Is it his brother?
Right.
Is it the queen?
That's what I was getting to about the couples, right? Like,
Is it the queen? I mean,
but honestly, everything she said about the queen was positive.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
Well, I feel like this. If he would have tried to nip it in the bud earlier, they probably would have hit the bags. They probably had to get their bags and been out of their way earlier.
Yeah, but who's to say he didn't try,
How can you nip somebody in the bud if they never showed how they felt? That the problem is, I think what happened, I'm not there, I don't know, but this is what I assume, that if they went along with the wedding like it wasn't no problem, then it wasn't never a problem until she got in the house. And then it started being a problem. And then she got pregnant. That's even more of a problem.
Y'all know as well as I know, motherfuckers is cool as shit till you live with their ass and they start farting all on your couch and all that bullshit. Big fucking difference when a motherfucker live with you. So, like I said.
But they knew.
You knew what?
They knew that she was going to live there.
But you don't know how to live with a person until you live with a person.
What changed is that she became more popular than the rest of them. That's what the difference
I believe that too, Cash. I believe that too.
That's why they went. That's why Mo's right, Ski's right. That if no matter what Harry would have went and said, or when he was approached. It didn't matter because they were actively, and I'm not, and when I say they, I'm not saying it's, she referred to him as the Institute. And she did not imply that meant the Queen, that meant Harry's dad or any of that. So I don't know who that meant, but they were already on an active campaign to smear her, to take her down a couple pegs.
Mhm.
And then in doing so, she, and this is my opinion of her, she seems like the type of person that isn't fazed by like, oh my God, it's the Queen. You know what I mean? Like she even said that in the interview. Like she was like, oh, it was just felt like, I grew up in Hollywood and all this different shit. So I could see in her eyes when she's talking, like there's a certain element where she don't take a lot of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Verbally, like you're not just going to overpower her in a conversation and make her run away and cry type deal. So I'm pretty sure in some of those people that are getting ready for certain interviews, different things, or trying to tell her to do specific things, that she's probably bucking a little bit, saying, no, that don't make no sense. I ain't doing that or whatever.
I ain't doing that.
So they're taking her down a peg. So what they did on accident, was that on purpose is that they start putting out so much garbage in the media about her. And then they would come back to her and tell her, hey, no, you can't go do this thing with your mom or your friends because you're too hot in the press right now.
Right.
So you got to stay here. And she's like, well,
exactly. Yep.
I'm here and I'm in the press, but if I go out, like, what's the like? So they were entrapping her to keep her right where she wanted to be and in control of all times because
where they
was becoming more popular than them.
Do y'all believe, like a lot of other things, do y'all believe that the media played a big role in this whole situation?
Of course, the media played everything. Yes, absolutely.
They're probably getting paid to run those stories.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, look at the Princess Diana incident.
Right.
There was about a dozen paparazzi behind the car. Yeah. Like it was so many photographs that came out of that situation. And a lot of photos got deleted because I think some of the, the ambulance wasn't there at first. So they got pictures of her, crashing and all that.
They said the reason why they had to confiscate and not release some of those pictures because it did imply some fault on the media or whoever, right? So you're like, oh, don't publish those. Yeah. You were driving too close to him.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm getting from most of y'all is the fucking royal whoever the fucks, they just some racist bastards. And there's no way around it. That's basically what y'all. They some racist bastards and ain't no way around it. The situation was never going to be different. It played out the way it was supposed to play out simply because they some racist motherfuckers. And no, it's not California, it's them. That's basically what y'all telling me, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, they're not going to come out and say that they're racist. How come they haven't spoke on this yet?
They did. The Queen did a couple interviews.
Oh, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear about it.
What?
It's all on their channel, not on ours.
Yeah, it's all on their stuff. But the Queen did the interview. I believe the brother did an interview. The dad, he's over here. That's the reason why we getting interviews from him. But if you go look at like all the BBC shit, they got all types of interviews with all. I think the Queen did like two or three. Yeah. That's all so far. Like she definitely spoke on it. She's not. How can I say it? She's in a position where she can't agree or deny anything because either way she look at it, she's still gonna look bad no matter what. So it's almost best for her not to say too much. It's a couple other people they tried to catch like off guard and ask questions, and nobody really wants to talk because no matter how you look at it, the temperature of the fucking world right now is all about racism. So anything that they say, they fucked. They look bad. And it looks bad as the Queen in the year 2021, the King and the Queen in the year 2001, that y'all still racist as fuck. Especially when motherfuckers don't realize this ain't the only fucking country that's majority fucking, I ain't gonna say majority black, but a very large black population. Motherfuckers don't realize that shit. It's a large black population over there where they at. So it don't look good that this the person that I gotta, call the Queen or King or whatever, and you don't even give a fuck about us at all. Like this how you feel when one of us is actually in there with y'all? Like that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? It's 2021. Like I said, in the 2000s, this is not a conversation we should still be having.
Here's a question for you, Raw, since you asked all the questions. Do you think it would have played out the same way if the kid or Meghan Markle was Asian?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think here's how I see it. It's just my personal opinion. If you don't like my personal opinion, fuck you. It's just that simple. This is how I feel though. I feel like in the year 2021, yes, there are a lot of racist sons of bitches that's still out there. You got some folks that feel like they could break down that barrier. Some people got that barrier so fucking locked and guarded that it's not going to be broken down. Do I believe if the very first time Harry would have heard something out of pocket, I think if he would have got on motherfuckers' heels, would shit have changed? Probably not 100%, but he could have at least got the ball rolling for the change. Secondly, I believe that, again, this ties into a lot of different shit we have talked about throughout the weeks on this joint. I believe that the world itself is soft. So honestly speaking, them asking the question about how dark the kid gonna come out, I wouldn't have, me personally, I wouldn't have been offended by that. That's just me. But I don't look at things the same way as everybody else look at things. You know what I'm saying? I'm married to a fucking Ethiopian woman. I don't know how my kid was gonna come out looking, but that didn't matter to me.
Right.
It didn't matter to me at all. You know what I'm saying? My son, my wife is darker than me. My son is lighter than both of us. You know what I mean? It is what the fuck it is. But at the same time, I know that if I've never been in that situation before, I can't speak on it until I'm inside that situation. So am I sitting here trying to say that they not racist? No, because I don't know them motherfuckers. I never been around them motherfuckers. Do I want to live in a fucking castle? Fuck no. That's some creepy ass shit. It's just that fucking simple. I'm good. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if I've never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I can't tell you what a peanut butter and jelly sandwich tastes like until I actually eat one. So do I really believe that? Yes, Harry can't fucking tell you that his family is racist because we ain't never been around black people. I never been around white people until I really like that. How about not white people? I've never been around peers that were white until I joined the Navy. And that's when I realized certain shit about white people, certain shit about black people, certain shit about Asian people, Filipinos, Cambodians, Puerto Ricans. I learned different shit as I was around them. As a kid, I grew up in Philly, and in my neighborhood, it wasn't a lot of Puerto Ricans. The only Puerto Ricans that was there was in the poppy store. We ain't hang with them motherfuckers. We just walked in the store, bought our motherfucking soda, our motherfucking cheesesteak platter, our chicken wing platters, and we got the fuck out of there. So I didn't know how they lived until I had a homie that was Puerto Rican. You see what I'm saying? So I can't sit here and say they was or they wasn't racist because I don't know. And honestly speaking, if Meghan got paid to do this interview, in my personal opinion, it takes away some of the credibility of what she was saying. That's just me. Because if this shit was real, if this shit was genuine, I don't need to get paid for you to tell you how I actually feel about some shit. If something is wrong, like I said, I say something from the beginning. I'm nipping it in the fucking bud. I'm not going to wait a couple years to now I'm fed up, to now, oh, well, Oprah going to pay me. No, fuck that. I'm off the rip. Yo, these motherfuckers is out of pocket. I'm getting the fuck about this camp. I can't deal with these motherfuckers. Yo, Harry, we out and all. Like, you know what I'm saying? We out and all. Like, what you doing? You ain't dipping? All right, I'm dipping. I'm out. I holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Me and what's the young boy name?
Archie. Archie, the baby.
Archie.
First of all, you fucked up when you named your son Archie. You see what I'm saying? Like, you let them talk you. First of all, you half black. You wasn't naming your son no fucking Archie.
Was she supposed to name him Devontae?
He could have had a lot of names, but outside of fucking Archie. Archie is probably.
I have a friend. His name's Archie.
How old is he?
He's older. He's probably like 2 years younger than me, 2-3 years.
Okay, so he's over 30, correct?
Yeah.
That was probably the last. Those was probably one of the last years that people named their kid Archie. I don't even think Archie in the newspaper no more. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody naming their kid no fucking Archie.
They should have named him Archibald.
Not even. First of all, black people ain't naming their kid no fucking Archibald either.
I mean, it's prestigious. If you're gonna go with Archie, you might as well name him Archibald.
I feel like Meghan felt like she can go over there and break a mold, and that mold didn't get broken.
No,
you can't be upset about something that you tried to change and it didn't work. I give you an A for effort because you definitely tried. I respect that. I definitely respect that off the rip. Now we're gonna get out of here in a second, but I got a question. I got a question for both of the ladies on this fucking podcast. And this is something I based off something I just said, this is something I need to know. And I think a lot of people need to know. So as a black man, if I become successful, rich, whatever you want to call it, and I find this white woman that I feel like I love and I cherish this fucking white woman, and I marry this white woman, I get called a fucking sellout. I ain't shit. I fucking hate black people, blah, 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 all that bullshit. But a black woman, she finds this white man that she loves. She cherishes. She marries this white man. And it's like, oh, it's cool. Like, why would I have a problem with that? She upgraded. How is it when a black man marries a white woman, he is sellout? When a black woman marries a white man, she upgraded. I need to know. People need to know.
Can I answer?
Yep.
This is my honest opinion. I think most black women want to marry black men. But with the day that how our black men are, I think women go to white men. You know, I personally don't feel like black, white. I feel like whatever you love because it's so hard to find love these days.
With you. I'm definitely with you on that
you
part.
Know what I'm saying?
Part you fucked me up on, you're gonna have to elaborate on that.
What part is that?
That you just said that the way black
white men are table scraps.
No, you just said
that's not what you said.
No, you said the way black men are, that they want to marry, women want to marry a black man, but they go to a white man. You got to explain that. I need to know.
Because black men, I think, in my opinion, black men play games. White men, let me talk. Hold on, I'm going there.
You want her to explain? Let her explain.
What?
White men play games too. But I also feel like you could get a white man to commit to you faster than you could get a black man to. And I don't think it's about money wise, because I know I have some black friends who make more money than their white boyfriend who are out of their right.
Real quick. I'm gonna let you finish, but I just got, hey, KC, you married?
Yeah, bro.
Hey, Spider, you married?
Yeah.
What about you, Cash?
I was married once.
That ain't what I asked you. I said, are you married?
No, I am not.
Okay, I proved my point. Go ahead, Momo. What you talking about?
You talk okay.
Oh, and for the record, I'm married too. So that's 3-1.
So, and y'all not the average black men. So it's most of.
What is the average black man?
Black men do. Why don't you do a statistic poll on if black men want to get married? Most of them, I'm not saying they don't want to get married. Most of them just are not mature enough.
Actually, I read something a few weeks ago. There's actually more black women that don't want to get married versus black men.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess because black women are more career oriented now, and they're focused on that, and that's why they don't want to get married.
Yes.
But I mean, speaking from
I think black women been hurt so much.
White women been hurt, but they still mess with white men.
Black women and white, seriously, black women are more, and I think black women are more scorned. I really do.
Actually, I think out of all the races, the most scorned woman would probably be the Puerto Rican woman, and she ain't messing with nobody but a Puerto Rican man. They're no matter how bad it gets, they are not leaving a Puerto Rican man. They ain't fucking with nobody else. They might slide a little black dick in them every now and then, They going back to that Rican dick. It's happening. They don't play that shit.
I be dolo.
Exactly. They don't play that shit. But go ahead. Courtney the Mighty, what you was about to say? From your personal experience, you hate niggas too.
That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say from my personal experience, I prefer black men. I want to get married to a black man.
Me too.
But going back to what Momo said, I don't know if it's just that they don't want that. Black men don't want that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to go and venture on the other side. Maybe I need to change up liking just black men or going after just black men because
don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm definitely not saying that a black man can't marry a white woman, and I'm definitely not saying a black woman can't marry a black man. A white man. I'm not saying that at all. I personally don't see color. I really don't give a shit. You love who you love. It is what the fuck it is. I just find it amazing how people can say that a black man's selling out when he's with a white woman, but if a white man marries a black woman, then that black woman upgraded. I just don't understand how that can be possible.
I wouldn't say he's a sellout though.
Most people will. Most people do.
They will. And I think that the reason being, I don't know why they feel like, I've heard a lot of people say when a black man gets money, he marries outside his race or he marries a white woman. Why didn't you marry a black woman? You trying to upgrade, or they feel like he's just going after what he could get because he has money. Why didn't you go with a black woman? But I guess that's the case for some people, but I feel that like you love who you love. I'm not a person who's judgmental, like, ooh, you with a white girl? Why didn't you just marry a black one? Like, I mean, it is what it is. I respect it. But don't let the reason why you pick this woman who isn't black be because, man, I don't like a black bitch. I don't like black women, or like you're down in your race to uplift another. Like, don't let it be that.
No, I'm with you.
I honestly, I don't care. If you with a white woman, a Hispanic woman, an Asian woman, do you? That's who you love. As long as you love her, and as long as the reason that you're with this woman isn't because you're down in your race, I don't care.
Like I see people.
I feel the same way. I don't care who. It ain't. Look, I'm on my business. I don't care who anybody with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ain't gonna be able to fuck me over. But I don't care about what everybody else is doing. I'm on my business.
White boy can fuck you over, just not the black dude.
No, white dude. Come on now. Ain't nobody gonna fuck me over. You better know.
They don't call you Tina for no reason, huh?
I don't play those games.
Tina got them hands.
Exactly.
I feel like red flags are there for a reason, and I buy by them.
It's fucking divorce, domestic violence, and all that in every race. I just always found it weird how people try to make it seem like the black race is, the least to get married, the least you shouldn't marry.
I think black men don't commit I got
better credit than a lot of the white.
I don't think they do, but I know they can.
Yeah, they can. I just don't think they commit like other races.
My parents have been together for 30 plus years, been married for 30 plus years. So I know that it is out there, but I believe it's few and far between.
I'll give you this. In the black community, I'll give you this. And if I'm from Philly, in the black community, wasn't too many parents that was married. You feel me?
And
growing up in my neighborhood, you know what I mean? Even with my grandmom and them, wasn't too many was married. You like, oh, that's your grandfather. You feel what I'm saying? But they wasn't married. You know what I mean? So it's like we were speaking earlier. If you never seen something or been in,
you don't know anything about it.
How can you speak on it? You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to get to, Ski Bob. I think a lot of black people grew up in single parent homes. And that's because, back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, at that time, for one, crack took over. Motherfuckers was in and out of jail. Motherfuckers was getting killed by the cops. So much different shit that when you grew up, you didn't know what it was like to be in a healthy relationship. You didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like. So you grew up and you got into these relationships, and on both sides, the woman and the man grew up in single parent household, so you didn't know what it was like to actually live with somebody else. You knew what it was like for your parents to be by themselves, so you felt like it was okay to do. Whereas though a lot of these white families, a lot of them, they'll be living fucked up, like hate each other, but they'll still stay in that house together just because. You know what I mean? And I think so many people look at, oh, well, white people commit more. That's not necessarily true. I know I got a couple homies that's white that'll tell you, man, I ain't never get married. I don't give a fuck how good the pussy is. I ain't never married her. It's just that simple. That's how they look at it. Then I got a couple black homies that they're looking to get, they've been trying to get married for years. They just can't find the right fucking female to lock down, because this is,
send them my way.
as of right now, this is the era of the turn up and be single.
In the video, put the links in the video.
There you go.
Put the links, put what links in the video?
Oh no, Courtney said if you know those people,
Just send them my way. He said,
I don't do that. I don't do that, Courtney, because then one of y'all gonna hit me up saying this motherfucker did this and this motherfucker said that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't get.
Why you get this motherfucker my number?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
once I hook y'all up, I don't give a fuck what happened after that. I don't want to hear shit. But motherfuckers always want to come back. Yo, man, this chick out of pocket. I don't give a fuck. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm over here somewhere. You hear me? But here's the thing, folks, man. At the end of the day, I gave y'all my opinion. I feel how I feel. Everybody on here, for the most part, they feel like, you know, they some racist son bitches over there at that point. I'm undecided myself. I don't know. I can't say they is, I can't say they ain't, because I wasn't.
So there's two sides to every story too.
Exactly. It's two
I definitely
sides.
think there's a few of them in there. It might not be the predominant people that we think everybody thinks it is. It might just be a couple publicists in there that are spinning these things.
No matter where you go, you're always gonna find some racist motherfuckers. And for real, man, words travel. So it could have not been the queen. It could have came from some random motherfucker just saying some shit. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I can't fully say. I can't fully judge because I don't know. Everybody gonna have their opinion on it. No matter how you look at it. Everybody gonna have their opinion. Everybody gonna feel how they feel, whether they was or they wasn't. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know, people. Momo,
Yep.
you calm down over there yet?
I've been calm.
Roger that. You was ready to blow your top for a second.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you was. It's all good. I ain't mad at you. But we about to get the fuck about this
I
camp.
got anger issues.
I was about to say how everybody believe all black women are. They believe all black women have anger issues. They fucking don't. They fucking don't. Black women actually are more submissive than white women. They just gotta have the right man to make them submissive.
There,
That's what a lot of,
There you go.
Bingo.
that's the thing a lot of people fail to realize. No woman is going to submit
To a bum.
motherfucker ain't worth submitting to. It's just that simple. Step your fucking game up, fellas. Step your fucking game up. Start acting like Ski Bop. Start acting like KC, and you can get your woman to submit. I don't got that type of woman. She ain't submitting for shit. It is what it is. I've grown to be okay with it. I'm okay with it. So we're gonna get the fuck about this camp though. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got anything that they want to say before we get the fuck out of here?
Go check out that Chef Ski Bop cooking episode coming up. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple good dishes on there for y'all. You know what I mean? Real good. You ain't talking about, go check it out. You ain't talking about.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
What you got for him, KC?
Don't forget that Sports with KC. Like and subscribe.
Amen. Cash Money.
New Cash Talk coming soon.
Amen. Momo.
What up?
You got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Be safe. That's it.
Roger the fuck that.
I think my sister tired, bro.
Jordan to the motherfucking point. Courtney the Mighty, what you got for?
Subscribe, hit the notification bell to my YouTube channel, Talk with Courtney. I have more things coming. maybe you might learn something.
There you go. She might teach you how to put that big ass Joan on top of your head too. That Joan look heavy as shit, but I ain't.
My mom was clowning it too.
Yeah, that Joan look like your neck gonna be strong as shit.
He's
Stop.
Shit.
That motherfucker ain't shit.
Hey, listen, we ain't gonna sit here and act like
Asshole.
y'all ain't already know that.
Straight up dickhead.
All y'all know. It is what it is.
A whole dickhead today.
Leave our pillowcase alone, man.
Hey,
Hey, watch it.
listen, leave her strong ass neck alone, Ski Bop. She gonna be all right. But we getting the fuck about this bitch. Hey, this was another motherfucking edition of the All on the Table podcast. If you stayed around this motherfucking long, then that means you had to either like something, learn something, or the fact that Momo was here, you just felt like you was just gonna sit here and watch. I'm good with either one. You know what I mean? So hit that motherfucking subscribe button, smash that motherfucking bell icon, because even though we popping up every Tuesday, you might just need a reminder to know that we back on Tuesday motherfucking morning. Leave us a comment, throw us a motherfucking thumbs up, and we the fuck about this bitch. Bong!
Peace.
Keep up, Charles.